Okie dokie. So, setup wise, as we said, only thing I think we've got to try and be aware is just get a bit looser in the grip pressure, okay? And I think what we've got to try to do is take a lot of thought out of that. There's so much in there, okay? I think the only thing you want to try and really worry about is loosening that grip pressure and feel those arms drop and soften, a bit more looser with the arms. Don't try to keep the left arm straight. Don't try to pull it. Don't try to position the club bit at a time, here, there, and ever, okay? Because once you start thinking about the swing, you break it down too much and it causes problems. So if we actually look at these two, okay, so this is the swing of the club. You've just gone back a little bit there, so we can just sync these clubs up here. I'd agree they've gone back the same amount there, okay? So pretty much the same thing. If we go back at the same sort of speed, watch these clubs, you go at the same spot, then you sort of stop and think about it. Look at that club, it's gone. He just kept going. As the arms go through now a lot smoother, release of the arms through, that's a fuller movement. Look at your right leg much better, whereas this one, to me, there's a lot more jerkiness with that foot especially as you come through. If we look at your position there now, there's no real hinge, bit of a lift and a hunch, whereas this one, as that club comes back down now, again your arms dropping into impact, club face now a lot squarer because your glove, the velcro now has kind of disappeared more around here rather than being on top in the middle as it was on this one here. Go back there. There, you can see the grip, look at the difference in those two gloves there because your arms are softening. And if you look at the same position now with your right arm on the club kind of almost in a straight line, whereas this one here now, right arm in the same position there, I would say. Look at that club. That club's released up and through more rather than sort of been locked dead straight. Things are able to release through. This is why the club finishes up there better rather than being a little bit sort of, can't get round there, and then I'll keep going, and then I'll get there at the end, not quite looking as balanced and as free to get through there. So try to take out that thought of what you're doing, where the club's going back. Your takeaway's looking pretty good, to be fair. I think you can work on that in practice and just keep checking that, but for me it kind of ticks the box. I mean, you're in a good position there. Let it happen. Don't start stopping the club here and then thinking about it, because if you sort of try to deliberately position the club at various checkpoints, if you get to those checkpoints and the club in your mind is wrong, what are you going to do to change it? What can you do? The club's there, it's done. You're not going to make any changes that way. So once get yourself in a nice position, nice and relaxed. Top of the backs are now nice and relaxed. The arms can drop. That's sort of sensation. Let your arms just drop here. No pulling with the club. It's that swish of the club through there. We're trying to get the club edge speed, and that's going to help A, square the club face up for one, and B, create a lot more power. Whereas before, as you were coming back down now, there was no unhinge of the wrist. The hands sort of just pulling through. This left arm was, again, trying to stay straight with your dominant arm, pulling that club through. And the more you keep your left arm straight, the more tension you create, the worse it's going to be.
I think in my body thought is mechanically, and keep my arms going straight back.
Exactly.
It's got to come back straight down.
Exactly. The thing is with the golf swing, it's basically a circle around your body. If you try and put any straightness into a golf swing, it tends to get very sort of rigid and very locked and just starts working out here somewhere. And if the face is then open, the ball then goes to the right, then you start trying to pull it way left and all these different movements, and you swing yourself and tie yourself in knots. And once it starts going wrong, then Lee, you're all over the place, as you can see. And your swing just looked very, very untrusting, I suppose. The terms I would use in terms of your swing before was lack of trust, rigid, stiff, cramped up, whereas now it looks a bit more sort of fluid, a bit more free-flowing, okay, where you're able to release the arms. And what you found, apart from the ones where you've reached your arms from the downswing and sort of pushed out, where you've shanked it, you've hit nothing right of target, because your arms are now releasing that club through better. It's only because the golf ball was going in this direction before, you've just swung the golf club now in that direction to try and compensate. And the more you try and compensate, now it's going to go to the left when you release it properly, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So trying to reduce the thought, okay? Just think arms dropping and relax. Setup-wise is good, takeaway's good, backswing's good. All those checkpoints you're probably thinking about in the golf swing, that's fine. I mean, so you get to a good position there at the top. Just from there, now just feel the arms dropping and falling, and a nice release of the club as you come through. And when you do that, you create that sort of hinge of the wrist here now with that L-shaped position, rather than that sort of stiff and rigid, please go straight kind of mentality swing you had before. And again, the pleasing for me is that right foot works so much better because you're not trying to hit it. You see, you're just letting the arms just drop and fall and release through. That right foot works better. When you're trying to hit the power, your right foot starts jumping back in. That sort of movie we've had in the past that sort of often causes some issues.
I know I'm using more of my top of bot, really.
Trying
to swing it around.
The way to think about it, I mean, the analogy I always give is if you had a bit of thread in your hand with a bit of weight on the end, and you were doing that with your hand, with momentum after a while, you could create a lot of speed. That thing would be whizzing around your hand like a helicopter propeller blade. Okay. Whereas if you then did that with your hand halfway through it, that bit of string would just collapse. the string is the golf club around your body. Your body's got to work smoother and more relaxed. There's less effort to create club head speed. That's the key with it, mate. Okay, mate. Right, have a couple more, buddy, and then we'll see how they go. All right.